got room! Welcome to Clearview Regional High School as we've got Tri-County basketball between two local teams that haven't seen each other in a while. It's the Pitman Panthers and the Clearview Pioneers here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for Friday Night Hoops. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'll be joined by Damian Witters on the call and on the production. Bit of a short staff tonight, but I'll tell you, Pitman and Clearview seems like such an obvious matchup. Two schools only separated by 10 minutes geographically, but guess what? These two haven't played each other in 8 years. It was almost 8 years ago to the day, back in January of 2018, that the Pioneers and the Panthers last played each other in boys basketball, back when Kevin Crawford was the head coach at Pitman and back when Rob McKercher was the head coach at Clearview. But one thing is clear, that both of these teams have changed. And Clearview, they've got two big chips on their shoulder this season. They've got Darren Riddick, who is a fantastic forward who's made over 42-point baskets this year and is up over 100 points as a freshman. And right to his side is Mike Pelleccia, who is right around the same, but he's also drained 18 three-pointers. So the 1-2 punch of Riddick and Pelleccia, both class of 2029 athletes, could be something special. Not to mention Riddick, he's a 6'4" forward who, in an 8th grade game last year, dunked in this very gym. So who knows? But we could be seeing some high-flying action from some very young gentlemen this evening. But one thing is for sure as well, Pitman is still in that transitional phase after the graduation of pretty much all 5 of their starters and then some from the prior season. Elijah Crispin's over at Perkiomen. We've got Mike Fisichero playing over in Italy, Greg Peterson, all the rest of them, Hudson Rue. I can go on. But Pitman doesn't seem fazed by this departure because they put up a good performance last night. This is their 3rd game this week, and they're 2nd in a row. They played Pennsgrove last night, beat them 51-43. But Lucas Razzie and Parker DeChristopher have been the 1-2 punch for Pitman. Parker DeChristopher's knocked down a lot of threes, and he's really been that key man for the Panthers offense, led by Ron Myers, who's been here for a while, and he knows how to deal with the best of the best. He's got DeChristopher for 1 more year, but this is not a permanent core. A lot of their starters, including Jay Craig and Joey Zuber, are also seniors of 2026. So this lineup for Pitman won't be around forever. But right now, Ron Myers isn't worried about that. He's worried about winning ball games. And even though Pitman is 4-6 last year, I'll remind you they went 23-7 in the 2024-25 season. So they're already encroaching upon that loss mark that they were at all the way last year in a South Jersey Group 1 playoff run that brought them to the semifinals before they lost by 10 to Woodbury. But it should be a good one tonight. Again, these two teams have played each other numerous times in almost every single sport. But boys basketball is an exception. And for the first time in 8 years, we'll be seeing the Clearview Pioneers face off against the Pitman Panthers here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments just for starting lineups, national anthem, and more here from the Clearview Pioneers Regional High School and the Hank, the Lorraine Ledden Memorial Gymnasium. I had to get that one right the first time, but we'll be back in just a moment here with Tri-County basketball here on this Friday night. All right, there's your starting lineups. We're going to get ready to go here for Friday night basketball here from Clearview Regional High School. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters. Again, Clearview dominated by a very young core. Those two freshmen that we mentioned in the open, Darren Riddick and Mike Lakechia, they are the two players that, despite being class of 2029 freshmen, already with up over 100 points in their rookie seasons. Meanwhile, Pitman led by an older core, but most of these guys didn't see a lot of minutes on the varsity level last year, including guys like Joey Zubert, Parker DeChristopher, who only had 15 points last year, but leads the Panthers in scoring in 2026. A decently packed house tonight. Student sections galore for both teams as we'll get ready to go. The Panthers in their road whites with orange numbering, and Clearview in their road green and gold. We're underway here from Mullica Hill. First possession of the game goes to Clearview as it bounces out to Jonah Turner, the junior, who also is going to have another season under his belt by the time he graduates. Turner running the point, guarded loosely by Zubert. Over to Criticson, fires it across the way. Turner on the near corner, fires out from the paint. Here comes the left wing, three, that's no good. Rebounded by Zubert. Goes out of the hands, touched once by DeChristopher. It'll go out of bounds, and Pitman will actually retain possession here, so it'll be inbounded by the man we call the masked man, Lucas Razzie, recovering from a nose injury. This is the third and possibly final time we'll see Pitman this season in the regular season, as a quick advancement up the court by Bowen Ashwin. Didn't really have anybody to pass it to, so he gets it to Zubert. Back over to the top of the key, moving inside the semicircle, hit off of somebody's foot. Now it's back to Zubert, spins around to his left, gets it off on the baseline, up, too strong, foul. That ref on the far sideline had it. This is going to be a shooting foul on Clearview, and going to the line will be Jay Craig.
That was a great job right there to retain that possession by Zubert. Almost had the ball stripped from him in the double team. Kind of tried to trap him in the corner, Clearview did. They're able to dish it off to Craig, and Craig gets fouled on the shot.
Pitman coming off of a 51-43 win over Pensgrove. That surprised me personally. Pensgrove 5-4 on the year. They were 5-3 going into the game last night. Damian Ware and those guys looked like they were doing pretty good, but not the best night for the Red Devils as the second shot misses. We've got a 1-0 game, and the ball rattles out. Criticson now has it. Over to Riddick, the 6'4" forward. As it moves over, back inside for Turner. Triple guarded by Pitman, back out to the far corner for three, too strong. Rebounded by Razzie. Razzie with a one-on-one full court press now. Full court press for the Pioneers. They got to get this one deep, but the lane is wide open. Here comes Bowen Ashwin, and it's good.
That was a beautiful pass out of that full court press right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of that. I mean, I'm not talking about the pass itself, but I'm talking about Clearview full court pressing there.
So early in the game.
Well, I'm not even saying so early in the game. As here comes Riddick, deep three, top of the key. That's Michael Palecchia. That's his 19th three-point make of the year, and the Pioneers tie the game at 3 apiece. 2 minutes into this one. Back over on center court. Razzie guarded heavily by Criticson. Back over to Craig. Moving along the baseline. Back out. Catch and shoot. Off the rim. But a solid miss that time by Pitman. It does force a turnover. Here comes another one. Michael Palecchia. Back-to-back threes for the Pioneers. And they lead this one by 3. 6-3 in the first quarter. All 6 points from Mike Palecchia, the freshman, with over 100 points in his rookie season.
And you know, Dan, why would you not lean on your young core? As Clearview tried to put it, Clearview with the trap, made him pick the ball up. Oh, my.
Here's the view crew.
That was just great defense right there. Clearview with the trap, made him pick the ball up, and he had to force a pass down low. But just a miscommunication with his man on the backdoor cut.
6-3 Clearview. All 6 points from Palecchia as now Turner goes in to run the point. Back over on the left side. In the far corner, Turner fires it over. Here comes number 3 from Palecchia. Oh, didn't go. Goes back out to the baseline, steps out. Last touch by Clearview, McGovern, and it'll be Pitman ball. 5:05 left in the first quarter. But Mike Palecchia, man, what a start for this Clearview 1-2 punch there. You see the stats on the left side of your screen for Riddick and Pelletier. Pelletier getting a little bit better stats in terms of, points per game and all that, but the way it is that Pelletier just is a guard who's going to score more. Meanwhile, Riddick's going to go for those inside baskets. He's going to guard that low post. You can see him guarding Zubert here, although Craig had a nice screen. Up and in. Tough basket that time, but it does go for the Panthers, and they cut the lead to 1 for Clearview. Basket by DeChristopher. DeChristopher had 16 points on Monday's game versus Salem. Only put up 9 versus Pensgrove. As that one is good for Riddick. His first basket of the night. It's now 8-5. As for a game that we only picked up about 48 hours ago, already looking like it's a good decision. 8-5, just halfway through the first quarter. They're going to say out of bounds. Again, right in front of the Clearview bench, who's going to give him an earful. But this one goes over to Turner. Obviously, we talked about the 2 freshman players, but I would say that Jonah Turner as well is another player to keep an eye out for on the Pioneers side as well. He's again, this Clearview team last year, they were successful, but not in the way that would have really sufficed. They were 4-4 in divisional play, but 10-17 overall, and they had a lot of seniors. Luke Andrus scored 500-plus points for them last year, and Jonah Turner already had 215. He was the leading scorer out of anybody who was not already a senior. As Razzie, short on the 3. Offensive rebound, back to Zubert.
Pitman has had a lot of second chances.
Yeah, this defense not really helping Clearview's cause here as it continues to get batted up, swatted down. Pitman ball. But the 2 leading scorers for Clearview last year were both seniors. Luke Andrus, 518 points in 27 games. Caprice Stewart, 323. A team that was at 500 on January 17th, but had a bad stretch in late January, lost 5 out of 6 games going into the month of February, and lost in the first round of the Group 3 playoffs to Morristown as the 14 seed. Lost that game by 11. 3:30 to play in the first. Razzie on the left side, almost got intercepted, but now DeChristopher can turn around. Almost turned around Clearview's defender, McGovern, now a 3! Lucas Razzie ties up the game with a little 3 from the left wing. His first point of the night, and it's 8-8, 3:15 to play in the first. Really good offense by both teams so far as here comes another 3 off the mark. A lot of 3-pointers being attempted. Clearview will retain possession.
Yeah, that one just a little long that time for Riddick, but he was wide open in the corner. I'm sure he would love to have that one back.
Not going to be as high scoring tonight as it was last night in Seabrook. Williamstown fell to Cumberland 70-61 as a nice little touch and go. Cleared for takeoff as Darren Riddick gets the basket. He's got 4 points, and Clearview retakes the lead. Razzie looks to advance. He's being guarded by Crittickson. Still all 5 starters on the floor for Clearview. That ball goes out. Out of bounds. Clearview ball. Riddick will take this one in for the Pioneers. But Clearview, yeah, they've been running a clean game so far. I mean, they haven't been perfect, but they have found a way. As here comes a nice layup, but it doesn't go. And now a foul underneath the basket that time.
Yeah, I was wondering, that was a little bit of a late whistle, but it was definitely a foul under the basket.
The foul will be on Razzie. At the line for 2 will be number 10, Darren Riddick. First shot is good. Riddick, as we mentioned, the freshman, 117 points in his first 8 games. 39 rebounds, 15 assists, 6 steals. The 6'4" freshman forward. That one is good. Although NJ.com still has him listed as a combo guard. I guess that could be still true. But
NJ.com has him listed as a tall combo guard, yeah.
Just went behind the backcourt line there, but now a chance to advance here for Craig. Moving inside, Razzie fires it out. Bowen Ashwin moves to his left to take the pass. Now floats it up off the side of the rim. Rebounded And now a deep shot. Riddick up and in. Didn't want to slam it, but he took the conservative approach, and he now ties Pelletier.
Little bump on the body. I'm surprised that wasn't a foul.
Riddick now with 8 points. Pelletier with 6.
Oh.
That three doesn't go. All 14 of Clearview's points have come from the two freshmen, Riddick and Pelletier. Except for now. There's one from Jonah Turner. His first of the day. And Clearview now makes this an 8-point lead here on their home floor. I mean, Clearview's 3-5 this year, but they certainly don't feel like a 3-5 team. They've played very tough competition, and they've played well versus the good boys. You know, Kingsway, they lost that game by 10, 87-77. Hey, you still put up 77 points versus a Kingsway team that went 23-5 last year.
Yes.
They lost by 1 to Winslow, 59-58. They beat Cumberland, who we saw last night, and they look pretty darn impressive.
Yes, they do, yeah.
And they played well versus GCIT and Bishop Eustis. So a couple of things change, and Clearview's a 4, 5, maybe 6-win team, especially that 59-58 loss versus Winslow. I'm sure that Tim Whitworth will want that one back. Here comes a three. Too short. Batted up. By the way, now on the floor, as here comes a three from Zubert, also front iron. Tried to save it. They're going to say it's inbounds. I'm not sure about that one as it goes out to the left. Razzie somehow escapes the pressure. Now moving inside. He's on the other end of the floor. Pass gets away. Here comes Turner, or Pelletier, and it's good. 8-8 for Riddick and Pelletier. It's even scoring for evenly talented players as it's 18-8. 10-point lead for the Pioneers and a foul. On the floor for Clearview is the 5'8" junior Dom Witherspoon, 6 points this season in 5 games. Still all 5 starters on the floor for Pitman. So they have not made a substitution here in the first quarter. It's been very light on substitutions by both teams as Zubert takes this one behind the backcourt line. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Here from Mullica Hill. Zubert stopped on it, brought it to Bowen Ashwin, who had an open lane, doesn't get anywhere with it, but it's back to Razzie. Top of the key for DeChristopher behind the volleyball line. 32 seconds. Up. Fakes the pass. Nice move.
That was a great decision right there by DeChristopher.
I think DeChristopher saw that that shot wasn't going to go anywhere or it was going to be blocked.
Yep.
So he feeds it to Jay Craig, gets the basket. It looks easy if you freeze frame it, but in real time, that's a nifty basket. And a nice assist by Parker DeChristopher. Sometimes the pass is just as good as the basket itself, and that's one example right there. 6 seconds. Turner did not step out. 3 seconds. Pass gets away, goes onto the scorer's table, and we're going to have 9/10 of a second to close out the quarter. So Razzie will take this one. It's Pitman ball. They'll have time for just a simple heave. See how far they can get it with this one. They'll bring it to Zubert. He'll let it go, but it's too short. And at the end of the first quarter, Clearview gets off to a hot start thanks to their freshmen, Darren Riddick and Pelletier. They both have 8 points, and Jonah Turner has the other 2. Clearview leads Pitman 18-10 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back from Clearview Regional High School, Mullica Hill. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pitman at 614 Lambs Road, just minutes from Route 55. Well, now that the whole crowd is here, everybody in the Clearview student section is now standing. This is the View Crew, one of the most electric student sections in all of South Jersey, and you can see them in full display right there as it's 18-10. Clearview with an 8-point lead. Their biggest lead was 10 as Zubert I mean, it was pretty back and forth, but then Clearview went on an 8-0 run as this pass gets batted away off of Witherspoon and out of bounds. But we've been kind of taking a tour of the big schools in the Tri-County lately. I mean, we saw Timber Creek on Monday. We saw, who was it? We saw on Wednesday, no, Wednesday was Gloucester and Lindenwold. But Thursday we saw Williamstown and Cumberland. Friday we're seeing Clearview. And tomorrow we'll see Kingsway.
Yeah, a trip through the Tri-County for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. That
Should be
beautiful
a fun
to see.
weekend.
Great basketball in the Tri-County.
Oh, yeah. We
Amazing
saw a
basketball.
great game last night. Caleb Green, Pat Crawford, both 15-plus points. And Cumberland's fourth straight win. And now we have found the disadvantage to everybody in the student section standing is that we can't see the near corner. If like 2 or 3 of those guys sat down in the first row, we'd be fine.
You'd have a little bit of a shot, right?
Well, just don't shoot the ball in the near corner. That's all.
No plays in the near corner.
Nothing of that kind under any circumstances. Zubert takes this one, guarded by Riddick, tripped up a little bit, hangs on to his balance. Zubert with no points so far. He's the last Pitman starter not to score. Only 3 scorers for Clearview. Turner, Riddick, and Pelletier. Bounce pass from Bowen Ashwin to Craig. Still all 5 starters on the floor for Pitman. Moving inside. Nice move. Zubert up. No good. I mean, we're seeing that crafty passing that guys like Crispin and Rue used to have last year and even before that. We're going to get a travel here. But we're seeing that passing, just it's with different guys on the floor. I mean, I think that's one thing where you have a completely different starting 5 but the same head coach. Those players are going to be different, but the philosophies that the coach wants you to hone in on are going to be the same.
Absolutely. Pitman, known for that type of basketball, especially like you said, Crispin and Rue played last year for these Panthers.
There's another one. Zubert does not get fouled. He throws it off of Zubert's foot, and it goes out of bounds towards one of our photographers, Michael Taylor. So now Razzie will inbound. 6:48 to play in the first half. Back over to Bowen Ashwin. Gets a kind of hip check there, and he goes down. That's a foul. Zubert got hit hard. And Zubert, you can still see, is wearing a small ankle brace. He was out for the game that we first covered versus Gloucester on December the 19th. And then when we saw Pitman on December the 29th versus Paulsboro, he played in the game but was injured late in the fourth quarter. Again, he has been nursing that ankle injury for a little while now.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I don't remember if it was sustained during the basketball season or if it was during his soccer season. If you remember, Joey Zubert is a multi-sport athlete, also does, I believe, golf in the spring, and also is the starting goalkeeper for Pitman on their soccer team. A phenomenal goalkeeper, 22 career shutouts. Most I've seen since Joey Lomas of Sterling. Craig misses the shot. As we go for the second foul shot for Jay Craig, let's listen into the Clearview student section.
just off the mark.
Yeah, I mean, that thing almost sat on top of the rim.
Yeah.
As now this will be brought over by Pelletier. Back to Witherspoon. Has an open lane and good. Dom Witherspoon, the junior, gets the basket to fall, and Clearview is off and running. It's 20-10. Back over to the right side for Zubert. Zubert bounce pass. Over to DeChristopher. 3. Parker to Christopher.
That was
gets the
amazing
corner
move.
3, and Tim Whitworth will call the timeout. It'll be a 30. We'll take a brief break. 6:07 rather, left in the first half. It's Clearview 20, Pitman 13. Welcome back. Some nice imagery here at the Lorraine Hank Ledden Memorial Gymnasium here in Mullica Hill. Haven't been here before. Second day in a row we've been to a basketball gym for the first time. Saw Cumberland. Had a similar gym style to this yesterday. As this is a lob over the middle. Nice finish that time as it goes for Turner.
Pittman's in the 2-3, but one big thing they're going to have to hone in on is really, kind of flashing to that paint when they see activity.
Look at Parker to Christopher. He did a full circle around the paint, now back out to the three-point range as Craig gets the foul and one. Going to get a chance for a three-point play as Pitman looks to close the gap. It's a 7-point game, can bring it down to a 6-point game if this three-point play goes. 5:34 left in the first half. As we mentioned, we'll be over at Swedesboro or Woolwich Township, whatever you want to call it. We'll be at Kingsway Regional tomorrow in the afternoon for a north and south battle between the Warren Hills Blue Streaks and the Kingsway Dragons. The first time those two teams have played each other, and the first time we're seeing Warren Hills. They're over in Hunterdon County out of the Skyland Conference. High pass. Witherspoon saves it in the corner. And they're going to say travel. Subbing into the ball game for Clearview is number 24, Alex Whitworth, the freshman. So now with, if my thinking is correct, Pelletier, Riddick, and Whitworth on the floor. We're going to have 3 freshmen on the varsity floor for Clearview. As now, dribbling with the right hand, got off of Razzie. And it goes out of bounds. Pittman retains possession. They're going to say Clearview batted that one out. Bounce pass, Zubert, blocked. They say all ball. Zubert runs it to the corner. And now he stops, fires it to Christopher. Shoots it through traffic, foul! Oh, no and one that time as that ball got ricocheted hard off the glass.
Yeah, for Pittman, Dan, a lot of these calls, at least what they're arguing to the refs, at least, that they feel as if these calls are backwards.
Yeah.
The ones that they're not getting, the ones that they feel are clean, they feel as if, the refs are calling too much,
De Christopher misses his first. Pittman is 1 for 5 from the charity stripe this afternoon. Well, that time he made it. Ron Myers calls a timeout. So will we. 5:05 left in the second quarter. Clearview 22, Pittman 16. Welcome back to Clearview. Just heard, we were just talking during the break about the View Crew, probably one of the most passionate student sections in South Jersey. I was recalling a story of when we were at Pemberton in Clearview back in November of this year, where it was a Wednesday night, 40 degrees. Both teams weren't even in the playoffs. It was a crossover game as Turner gets the shot to fall. But the student section was packed, just like it is tonight. Now, yes, it's a Friday night here in Mullica Hill. Sure, a lot of these, players might, or a lot of these classmates might go out to dinner or whatever after the game, but for what it's worth, having a 3-5 team like Clearview, who only won 10 games last year, have a student section this packed, it's impressive. Razzie knocks down the 3. That's 6 points for him. Razzie and DeChristopher both have 6 apiece as it's now back to a 5-point game, 24-19. Fires it across. Turner has it. Over to Witherspoon. Catch and shoot. Too strong. Knocked down. Saved by Riddick, and it's intercepted by DeChristopher.
Great heads-up play right there by Parker DeChristopher.
Got a lot of height on that one, too. Here comes Bowen Ashwin for 3. No good. Back to Riddick. High and fast-paced offense here. Wow. Down Witherspoon with a nice basket. He has had 2 really nice layups here in the second quarter in his time off the bench as there's huge contact. Razzie goes down, and in the middle of it all, Zubert gets the basket.
We are back and forth here.
I mean, it's hard for me to keep up. It feels like I'm watching a Clayton game.
Very fast pace.
No wonder. I mean, listen, maybe this is just how Clearview runs, but I shouldn't be all that surprised if you look at their box scores. They beat Highland last night on the road 79-73. They played Kingsway on the 22nd. That was 87-77. How about their first loss of the year versus GCIT on the road at GCIT? They lost that game 92-85. I mean, you have to run an offense like this if you're going to either give up 92 or score 85.
Absolutely.
That hits off the wiring, and it's out of bounds. Pitman ball after the three-point attempt from Witherspoon. He's 0 for 2 from the three-point arc. Razzie inbounds this to Zubert. Goes right back to Razzie. But really an interesting press here. You're sending one man out to guard the point guard, and then after that it's a standard 2-3 zone. And now it's flipped to a kind of a 4-1 here, but here comes the 3. Air ball that gets it back. Witherspoon back through the middle. I love this. You don't get to hear this in many other places. Here comes the 3. Good! Darren Riddick, 13 points in the first half. The young kid is lighting it up. 3 minutes left in the half, 29-21. Now back over the middle. Over to Razzie on the right side. Fades it over. Razzie still hanging on to the ball, lets it fly, hits the wiring again. And it's out of bounds.
Pitman was trying to work the perimeter right there to look for that three-point shot. But like you said, you know, Clearview switching up from the 1 high to the 4 down low, 2-3 zone. They're looking for just multiple formations on defense.
Yeah, they're trying to switch it up a little bit. You know, when we think of a 3-2 zone, we think of Syracuse and their famous zone.
Absolutely.
But, you know, when we talk about high school basketball, it is a little bit simplified, but not when you're talking about Ron Myers, somebody who is a great-minded head coach and with somebody, whoa, wow, that pass almost hit the roof, and that roof is about 20, 25 feet up. Craig, no good. Looked like there might have been some contact. Zubert fires it through the paint, but does the basket count? No, it's a travel.
Wow.
Ooh. Myers disagrees, but he'll hold his tongue for as long as he can. 2 minutes left. 7-point lead for the Pioneers. Both teams under 500 going into this game as the 3 from freshman Whitworth doesn't go, and a foul over the back by Riddick. And that is going to put Clearview over the bonus, so Pitman will shoot some foul shots. Micah Frost is on the floor for Pitman. And actually, Frost is going to shoot these foul shots. So, always like to root for our guy, Micah Frost. He's one of the few guys that is a member of the DWB crew, but also does this. I mean, he's a 3-sport athlete: soccer, basketball, and golf. A little bit of everything. First shot by Frost. It's no good. 29-21, minute 54 left in the first half here from Clearview Regional High School in Mullica Hill. No good. Frost misses both. Clearview running this one up quickly here for Turner. Moving up along the baseline. Back out to Riddick for 3. Good!
It's going to be a big thing for Pitman to hit these free throws, especially if they're going to get given up those threes on the perimeter on the other end.
They are 2 for 8 on foul shots this evening, as they now trail by 11 with 90 seconds in the first.
That's
90
a
seconds
great
in the
play.
first half. Nice pass, but Craig's shot is too strong. Now another fiery pass. Open lane. Riddick off the glass. Check that. Paletti off the glass. And good. But we have a... What do we have here? Oh, we have a substitution coming in. Witherspoon will come in for Clearview, so that'll stop the pace a little bit. So Paletti comes in, or excuse me, Witherspoon comes in for Criticson. But this freshman scoring attack is fantastic. I mean, Riddick and Paletti, 26 of Clearview's 34 points. It's phenomenal. And these kids are freshmen. They got 4 years left, or 3.5, but still a darn good amount of time left in Mullica Hill.
Beautiful to see.
This one rolls over. Back up to Christopher. Contact. Doesn't go. Now here come the Pioneers. Up. No good. Nice block by Frost. Now we'll have another foul by Clearview. Oh, no, the foul is going to be on Jay Craig.
Oh, wow.
They're going to call this a shooting foul, and Clearview will shoot too. So Dom Witherspoon will go. Bowen Ashwin will check back in. It's the first foul for Craig, team second. I thought that foul would have been on the floor. I didn't really see it, but first shot missed. For Clearview, we mentioned their 3 wins. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They beat Cumberland on opening night and then lost 5 straight across 10 games versus GCIT, Bishop Eustis, Kingsway, Shipley School of Pennsylvania, and Winslow. But they got back in the win column versus Williamstown, now 2-7, and Highland, now 2-7. Witherspoon gets the shot to go. 50 seconds left in the first half. Has to get it off to somebody, and it's turned over right away. Turner has it. Over to Zubert. Fires it on the baseline. Witherspoon keeps it in. Thought his foot might have been out there, but now here comes a 3. Alex Whitworth, no good. Rebounded by Frost. Ball comes out, and a foul as the ball got loose. So a 13-second possession, and we'll have another foul on the floor. It's going to be called against Craig again. That's going to be Pittman's 3rd foul of the quarter. Unless, no, it's against Witherspoon. My apologies. Thought I saw a 0 from the ref, but it is number 1, and now Frost will go to the line for 2. He missed his first 2 foul shots. Let's listen into this Clearview student section once again. My bad. You know that I wish that mic. I wish I could turn it down quicker. I forgot the buzzer was going to go off. I think if you have a surround sound system, I might have just obliterated your speakers. Redemption for Micah Frost. He hits both. And it's now 35-23. 35 seconds of play in the first half. Tim Whitworth delivering instructions. And his junior point guard, Jonah Turner, bringing it up the way. Calls over number 33, TJ McGovern.
Yeah, they're just going to try to hold for last shot.
No shot clock.
Up 12
might as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might as well hold on to the lead that they can get. This is their biggest lead of the night. Actually, second biggest lead. It was 14. Now 7 seconds. Turner to Whitworth. Double guarded. Gets blocked by Razzie. Gets another chance. He'll have to heave it up. A long 2. No good. And at the end of the first half, Clearview with a good first quarter and an even better second quarter as they lead Pittman here at home, looking to beat them in their first appearance in 8 years. It's conference but non-divisional basketball here from Mullica Hill. And at the end of the first half, the View crew takes a seat, and so will we. Pittman 23, Clearview 35 at the end of the first half. We'll take a break and be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Clearview Regional. Oh, got a little camera issue there. I don't know what's going on with it, but we're going to diagnose it and we're going to fix it. It's Dan Wilkins Broadcasting coverage. As you see in the first shot, the students were sitting. In the second shot, the students are standing. It's 35-23. Clearview leads by 12 as I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters on the call. And this has been a great game for a Friday night lights basketball here in Mullica Hill. But Pitman, even though they've struggled, they still show signs of light throughout this game. It just hasn't been consistent enough for them to really carry a run, and Clearview's taken full advantage of it. Big thanks to their freshmen, Riddick and Pelletier. 16 for Riddick, 10 for Pelletier as we start the second half here at Clearview, Mullica Hill. Bounce pass from Turner, the point guard, back over to Riddick. Pelletier, for three. Pelletier with 13 points. The Pioneers are rolling, and it's 38-23.
He's hard to stop, and Pittman's not getting out of that 2-3 zone. Dan, they're kind of staying true to it. They really got to flash out on shooters.
Tries to push through contact to Christopher, gets fouled. Razzie will inbound. It's the first foul of the half. Again, our next broadcast will be January 10th, tomorrow morning. Afternoon, it's a noon tip-off between Warren Hills and Kingsway. I'll be on the call with Mackenzie Cochran with that one. The first woman to do color commentary for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. She's a senior at Montclair State. Really excited for tomorrow's game as it's back over to Zuber at the volleyball line on the left wing. Underhand flip. Pass over. Christopher, too strong. Rolled over the back of the rim that time, and now Clearview in transition. They're continuing that high-paced offense. The ball got batted out. Looked like Bowen Ashwin touched it, and it will be Clearview ball underneath their own basket.
Bowen Ashwin has tried that play a couple of times on some Clearview ball handlers, trying to push the pace in transition. Kind of a little bit of Jose Alvarado just trying to steal the ball from him.
Haven't heard that name in a while for New Orleans as it's out on the right side for Turner. Pelletier at the top of the key. Turner's not looking at him. Now he goes for a lob. Oh, he wanted Riddick to get up there. Riddick has thrown it down before. There's a video on his Instagram. He dunked in an 8th grade game, and he's 6'4" as a freshman. I mean, if I played basketball in 8th grade and I saw some kid dunk in the middle of the game, I would have quit right there. I would be like, yeah, this sport's not really cut out for me, To Christopher, over to Bowen Ashwin. Up and in. Nice shot by Craig there on a little underhand feed. Craig leads Pittman scoring. He's got 7, and it's 38-25.
It's a big thing about the big man for Jay Craig. If Pittman wants to get back into this game, he's going to have to be hitting a lot of those layups. He did a great job getting second chance rebounds, trying to force some opportunities for Pittman. Just didn't really work out, and he gets called there for the moving.
Yeah, Zubert's going to get called here. Actually, it's going to be on Craig.
Yeah, wow.
I think they're going to call blocking foul. Again, the tough defense is going to get to Pittman here. I mean,
yeah,
this Clearview team is so young. With, right now, again, 3 freshmen on the floor in Riddick, Pelletier, and Whitworth, that the team is so young and agile that they can afford and arguably sustain this high-paced offense. And if this core stays together up until their senior year in 2029, then, yeah, it might not be the same. But right now, this team is young enough and agile enough and projectable enough that it can work. As the basket goes for George Criticson, it's his first point of the night. And Clearview now leads by 15. It's 40-25. Trapped behind the half-court line. Razzie's got to bring it up. He does get it in time. Almost shot a 3, but now he sends it to Zubert, and it's no good. Pittman really trying to emphasize the 3. It's just not working as here comes Whitworth, too strong there. Offensive rebound, though. Pelletier almost put it up. He's got 13 points. Riddick has 16. Now here comes Pelletier. No good again. Tried to tip it in. Back over and in. Criticson. Very nice basket on a touch and go. And Clearview's got their largest lead of the night, 17 points. Zubert blocked by Riddick. Brings it back out. 3. Bowen Ashwin too strong. Back over. Got tripped up as Turner brings it up.
Pitman's just having a really tough time trying to battle for boards down low. And even when they get into the paint, it's just, Darren Riddick having an amazing time playing defense.
How about this? Criticson on his own accord, a 6-0 run. He didn't have any points before that last possession, but 3 straight shots from inside. All of them went for the junior Criticson. We'll take a break as Ron Myers calls a timeout for Pitman. It's Pitman 25, Clearview 44, a 19-point lead for the home staff. We'll be right back. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. Registration is open for the spring of 2026 with 20-plus teams across 4 competitive divisions. Register today at southjerseynaba.com to be a part of the most competitive men's baseball league in South Jersey. Inbounded by Pitman. DeChristopher has this one, guarded loosely by McGovern. McGovern, a junior on this team. There's only one senior on this Clearview roster, and he only has 4 points in very limited minutes. That's Luke Zuba. Everybody else is a junior or younger. Here comes another pass. Up and in. Jonah Turner, the point guard, gets the tough basket, the contested basket to go underneath. And that pass gets kicked away. Craig had the last touch. Clearview ball again as this game is slipping away from the Panthers. And for a team that beat Pensgrove, a solid Pensgrove team by 8 last night, this was a game that mattered more for Pitman than it did for Clearview. Obviously, Clearview, this is a big game for them. If they can go on a 3-game win streak, they can definitely carry some momentum into a tough divisional schedule in the Royal. But for Pitman, this game would have been a much-needed win for power points. A Group 1 versus a Group 3 would have done wonders. As DeChristopher, ball comes out. He was on the ground. Now he's slow to get up. Turner with a basket. 10-0 run with the combination of Criticson and Turner. They're lighting up the scoreboard on their home court. 23-point lead, 48-25.
Yeah, Pitman really needs things to go better here on this offensive possession. That's a good high pickup there by DeChristopher.
That is a nice basket there as they disrupt the run. Parker DeChristopher breaks up a 10-0 run, but not for long. Here comes a three as he faces the student section. A high five from his head coach, Tim Whitworth. And the points continue as Pelletier, 16 points for the freshman. 51-27, 2:40 to play in the third. DeChristopher pulled up, heavily guarded by Criticson, rather McGovern on the left wing. Zubert back to the basket. Pulls up.
That's a great pump fake.
Very nice pump fake there by Zubert. He's got 4 points. It is a 22-point lead for the Pioneers. Little around-the-world pass there on the right side. Brings it over.
Man.
For McGovern. Push foul.
You know, for Pitman, they're still in this zone, Dan. It's a bit soft. So the pass goes to the corner. Pelletier catches it, and he has 16 points on the night so far. And it's almost like people are late to get there on those shots. The Clearview's moving fast on both sides of the ball.
Just feel like Pitman's got to change it up a little bit. Feel like, some some flexibility will do them wonders here in the second half of the season. But this is the part of the season where, we can't really say it's a young season anymore, but we also can't say the season is wrapping up because we still have over a month before the county and conference tournaments.
Absolutely.
And we still have a month and a half before the playoffs. So there still is a lot to be decided as that three didn't go. Nice save. Craig gets it. Underhand feed. Here comes to Christopher for three. Parker to Christopher, knocks it down. He's got 11 points. It's his 7th game out of 11 this year with 10-plus points. He's had a couple 20-point daggers as well. But right now it's just a chip in the stone for Clearview as it's back over. Nice pass. Criticson airballed it. Back over. Pass hits underneath the basket. Rolls out. Last touched by Criticson.
You talk about the role that Parker DeChristopher on this team has had to take from last year to this year. They kind of put you on the front burner. Ron Myers does, and it's really been working out well for DeChristopher as a player, as a distributor. Gets that shot right there.
Almost had contact there. Here comes a heave down to Whitworth. Over to McGovern. Now on the left side, deep on the left wing is Turner, looking to set it here from the angle. Has to pass it off to somebody. It's McGovern. Under a minute left in the third quarter. Turner sets the play. Over to McGovern again. Back to Turner. They're going to hold it here. We had a game last year where Rancocas Valley held onto the ball for the last minute and 20 seconds of the game.
My goodness.
But in Jersey, with no shot clock, you have to have that defense contest you.
Yeah.
You see right there. Razzie getting all up in his business. Goes over to Zubert now, who's going to defend him. Spins around on the left. And again, this is going to work for Clearview here if Pitman doesn't get a steal, but they'll pass it back around. They're going to hold on to this ball for the last 45 seconds of the third quarter, if not more, about 50 seconds here. Turner looking to avoid a 5-second violation. He does.
Too soft.
He's got 6 seconds. Back to 5. Here comes a heave. Riddick gets blocked. They'll have a time to heave it, and it's short. But Pitman now trails by 19 as a huge third quarter for the Pioneers. Put them in business to close this one out with 8 minutes to play. It's the Pioneers 51, the Panthers 32 as the Clearview dance team takes the court here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll be back in just a moment. Back rolling in the fourth quarter. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters. Again, we've got Warren Hills and Kingsway tomorrow. Then on Monday, more ice hockey. Princeton versus Gloucester Catholic. Tuesday is Paulsboro Gloucester boys basketball. Thursday is Seton Hall Prep and Gloucester Catholic. As there comes another steal. Here comes Darren Riddick. Look out below as he lets that one go. Gets a nice layup there. Riddick now with 18 points.
Just making it look easy here for the Pioneers. On the offensive end, Pitman's had a lot of trouble getting back in defense.
Oh, almost had another steal there.
Oh, my goodness.
Here comes another one. Here comes Turner on the left side. Guarded by DeChristopher. Underhand feed. Pelleccia up and in. The youngsters getting it done. 18 points for both Riddick and Pelleccia. 36 out of 35 of the team contribution for the Pioneers.
And could you say the future's bright for Clearview, Dan?
The future is bright for Clearview.
Oh.
Here comes another one. 3 in a row. McGovern in. I mean, another couple shots like that in this game is put to bed. Obviously, it's a 24-point lead. Clearview has put their best foot forward here versus a new-look Pitman team. As now Bowen Ashwin gets an open look. Missed it, though.
Very much well needed that time on the miss. Needed that one.
Up and in.
And the ability by Pelletier to absorb contact right there. Pitman wanted to go for the charge, but just deep down in the lane. A really good job by the freshman right there to control the body.
Clearview said he's a freshman. Trust me, we know. They've got 3 of them that have been on the floor at certain points tonight, including Whitworth. Zubert with a nice look, up and in. Zubert with 5. Pitman with a loss will fall to 4-7 on the year. They have a home game versus Riverside, a 2-6 Riverside on January the 12th, and then on the road at Salem Tech, the Salem Tech Chargers, on the 14th. They actually have 3 of their next 4 and 5 of their next 6 games on the road. They have a little reprieve on, well, first of all, they have Wildwood and then Shalleck, as there's a 3 from Zubert. So Riverside at home, then Salem Tech, Wildwood, and Shalleck on the road. Home versus Clayton on the 27th, and then back on the road again versus Glassboro and Salem. So they have a long way away from Rob Waddell Gymnasium. As there is some nice back and forth passing, but it doesn't go. Pelletier would have had a great shot there, would have been great highlight worthy there, but unable to get it to go. 22-point lead here. Zubert on the left side. Back to Frost. Pitman has only had 6 total players in the game. It's been their starting 5 and Frost. That's been it. That is how thin their roster has become with the graduation class of 2025. And they're going to see even more in 2026.
Absolutely.
DeChristopher is a junior. Frost is a sophomore. Everybody else on the floor is a senior. And here comes 3 new Pioneers on the floor. That's number 11, which is Jake Bernstein. Number 24, Alex Whitworth. We saw him in limited capacity. And Witherspoon. So Witherspoon, Bernstein, and Alex Whitworth, and we'll have a foul. First foul of the quarter.
And it's interesting that you say that, Dan. You can only imagine the constant changing of the lineup. Players in and out for Clearview. It's just hard to keep up with. Pitman just naturally this year. Ron Myers has kept this team very well conditioned as much as they've really had to be playing the teams that they played against. But in this game, it's kind of running away from them. It's just the substitutions.
Salem, as we just saw, leads the Tri-County Classic with a 7-1 record. We were supposed to see them tonight, but plans changed. We'll be seeing them on February the 5th versus Pennsgrove down in Salem. A nice little Salem County on Salem County battle. Razzie to Frost. Inside the paint. Pulls up, and it's good. Nice shot by Frost. And it's now a 20-point game. 4:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Again, Clearview with almost all new players on the floor. With Witherspoon back out to Whitworth. No good on the 3. Whitworth, 64 points in his first 4 games, and a nice block by Frost, but the basket's good. It goes for Jake Bernstein. That's his first career varsity basket.
Always good to get your first career varsity basket. No matter what situation it comes in.
We got a foul on the floor here. It's going to be charged against Bernstein. So, I mean, if you're Bernstein, you just hit your first varsity basket, but then you just committed a foul. So, it's a little bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
But Razzie will bring this one in. So, yeah, Zubert is the only – well, Zubert is back on the floor here for Pitman. But it has been a very light day in terms of substitutions. We'll have a blocking foul. Would have been a jump ball there if they held it. But a blocking foul gets called. It's going to be on Witherspoon. And although this game seems like it's settled and done, Clearview's putting themselves in a little bit of foul trouble here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, still eager for the ball. They played a pretty clean game. But you've seen a lot of trap concepts here for Witherspoon and his bunch. It's interesting.
Razzie from the near corner can't get that one to go. Here's Whitworth. They're going to get Brady Meadle ready to check in for the Pioneers. Oh, sent him down. Let's see if they call this a block or a charge. It's going to be an offensive foul.
Oh, the charge, wow.
That was a great call that time. That looked like Zubert set him up really well. Now checking into the game will be Brady Meadle. They send McGovern out, so I believe, if I'm correct, we've got all benchmen. Witherspoon, Meadle, then Bernstein, Whitworth, and David Carter now in the game. So yes, all bench players for Clearview. Here comes the three. DeChristopher can't get it to go. Still moving down the floor with quick pace. Witherspoon on the right side. Popped up, and it goes back out. Spinning around here. Back to Razzie, who will bring it to DeChristopher. Again, Pitman, just with any chance to come back in this game, needs to start chucking up shots. They do, but that one doesn't go. Clearview slowing it down a little bit. 3 minutes to play. Whitworth, up. No good. Blocked by Bowen Ashwin. This one rolls back out. DeChristopher has it. I'll tell you, Pitman crushed Clearview in the JV game, and I tell people don't use that score as a metric, and that's why. Because Pitman won that game, I think, by 20 or 25 points, and now they're losing by 22 here on the road as Clearview, with a win, will go on a 3-game win streak as they go on the road to Washington Township and Gloucester Catholic on the 12th and 14th respectively. And then the 16th, they'll be back at home versus Delsey. Then they've got a standalone on Martin Luther King Day on the 19th versus King's Christian, the NJSIAA Independent, on the 19th. Still a full court press. Fires it out. Zubert, catch and shoot. Short on the three. Has an open lane for the rebound. Takes it. No good there. Swats it out to nobody. And it's out of bounds. 2:01 to play.
Still a full court press by Clearview, heavily pressuring the ball. Well, these are now a bunch of benchmen, like you said, on the court for the Pioneers. So, you know, they're just trying to run those fresh legs and get them as quick as they can on the offensive side. Just trying to get possessions back.
2 minutes left in the game. The View crew, not a single soul has left their seat on this Friday night, as that basket is good by Whitworth. 63-39. Zubert makes the shot. Zubert now with 10. Back over to the right. Whitworth for three. Good! Alex Whitworth, the freshman. 5 points. And now Clearview's going to slow it. Pitman's going to slow it down on offense. I don't know if they're going into their retreat, if you will. But I'll tell you, Clearview-Washington Township on Monday should be a very good game, because those two teams in the Tri-County Royal, led by Kingsway, who we will see tomorrow, we're going to see the Tri-County Royal for 3 straight games. As you can listen in here. But I should make one correction. Pitman has one bus, so they can only start one bus at a time. Yeah. Singular, not plural. But here comes Witherspoon. They're still going to drive it. Not telling him to slow down. Oh, he fouled him hard. Zubert, he's not taking it. Witherspoon basically got hit in the face.
And they say, wow, they call that on the floor.
They're going to call this on the floor here. I'm a little bit surprised. But you know what? I think Zubert was unhappy there. I think that he just wanted to stop Clearview there. They very well just could have held onto the ball and let this game be gone. But now Pitman is going to have a double press here. And again, they were going to keep things on the low key, but now Frost goes up, can't get the basket to fall. They're still going to run this up here. Got to slow it down here. Don't get a basket off. They shouldn't score here. Game's over. Just hold on to it. Don't get into any trouble. Yeah, you can see absolutely. Zubert's looking at him. He's looking back at him. Clearview's loving it because they just beat the Pitman Panthers 66-41. A dominant victory here on their home floor on a Friday night. This crowd was packed from the first tip-off to the final buzzer. And it ended with a little bit of fireworks, but nothing too much to write home about, as the freshman duo of Darren Riddick and Luke Pelleccia put on a star-studded show with a final. First of all, they contributed 38 of Clearview's 66 points tonight. it was a fantastic showcase from both of those, as the View crew, they certainly had an assist in this game.
Yes,
Pitman struggled at the foul stripe, and overall, just a dominant win from start to finish for the Clearview Pioneers.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful tonight here for Clearview, Dan. From start to finish, really, the freshman crew shoveling most of the load for Clearview. And, if you're the head coach, Tim Whitworth, why not? Just like why not let these guys go? Why not let your front run? They put their Pellecchia, both Pellecchia and Riddick were in the game for the majority of the time for Clearview, really pressuring the ball heavily. They didn't stop from start to finish, first quarter to fourth. I mean, even their guys checking in and out, they really put a heavy full court pressure on the ball, and they suffocated Pitman, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pitman being a little bit inflexible in this game also helped Clearview. The fact that they were running that zone pretty much from start to finish, it didn't really change anything. Once Clearview found a way to get there, they couldn't really stop, and there wasn't really a way that Pitman could answer. And yeah, you can say that Pitman is a bit of a depleted team this year, but they picked up a really nice win over Pennsgrove last night. They are not dead in the water.
Absolutely
I think this
not.
is a game that Pitman, again, they really could have used, because they only have one win over they have two wins over non-Group 1 schools this year. Absegami on opening night, they beat them 52-43, and then Triton 62-40. Their next game versus a big school is not until the 6th, and that's Haddon Heights. So unless they end up picking up a team in the Tri-County flight or whatever it may have you, then I'm not sure, but Pitman's not going to have a very fun time in the PowerPoints or in the playoffs with a resume like that. Now, I'm not trying to dog on them too much, but right now where they are, where are they right now? They're actually 9th in South Jersey Group 1 PowerPoint. So a team that was the number 1, I believe, in last year's South Jersey Group 1 bracket is now out of the running for a first-round home game. They would play Kip Cooper on the road, a rematch of the 2023 South Jersey Group 1 final. But as it is, you look at Haddon Township. Haddon Township's number 1 in Group 1 right now. Who do they beat? Mainland, Group 3. Pennsauken, Group 4. Gloucester, Group 2. Those are schools that they have to beat because they have an ambitious schedule. They play North Hunterdon tomorrow. That's a Central Jersey team. They've got a couple more big schools along the way, but I would say that, Pitman definitely, they had some missed opportunities during this stretch where they very well could and probably should have won some games versus those big schools. But as it is, Clearview's got to be feeling good here.
Absolutely.
This is a team that they haven't played in 8 years. When these freshmen, think about these freshmen, probably born in 2009 or whatever, when it was 2018, when they last played Pitman, those kids were in elementary school. So they get to face the Panthers for the first time, and they win by a huge margin on their home floor. You can't be mad at that. And Clearview with a 25-point win, they're going to be riding a 3-game win streak into a vulnerable Washington Township team on Monday and an inconsistent Gloucester Catholic team on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, running into that Washington Township team, they started the season maybe not like they really wanted to, especially also being in Group 4. It's a really good opportunity for these Pioneers to take advantage of any of the bigger schools that they play, and just keep rolling off W's. Keep leaning on your freshmen. They're obviously willing to get in the game and do the dirty work. Even players coming off the bench, it's going to be really, really fun to see what Clearview has in their bag. It's moving into their conference tournament and absolutely moving into the Group D playoffs.
Well, a great game tonight as Clearview takes this one by 25. That'll be all for us tonight on DWB. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Giannotti. My producer and color commentator tonight, Damian Waiters. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow morning from Kingsway for a battle between Warren Hills and the Kingsway Dragons. Final score, Clearview 66, Pitman 41. Have a good one, folks.